Greetings. Today's flight is going to take us from Tempe Town Lake to Roosevelt Lake. Tempe Town Lake is in downtown Tempe, Arizona. It is an urban lake. And from there we're going to follow the course of the Salt River through the East Valley, along the Apache Trail, and ultimately to Roosevelt Lake. Well, everything looks good. We're going to fly from Tempe Town Lake, Arizona, which is a man-made lake, towards the middle, or really more realistically, the end of the Salt River. Again, we're in the Grumman G-21. So we're already headed to the east there, and hopefully there's enough room for us to clear, so let's give her some flaps. And some throttle. Get our airspeed above 60. Headed due east. Freeway is right to our left. Flaps at 0. And there we are, leaving Tempe. Phoenix is over to the right there. You can see the mountain at 52nd Street there. And we're basically following the Salt River right now. That's probably the 101 heading north into Scottsdale. We're still climbing out of here. Following the river here. Kind of parallels the freeway for a while. Alright, we're going to cut throttle back. Decrease the propeller pitch. You hear the engine change pitch there. We're looking for a cruise airspeed of about 130 knots. We'll try to trim this airplane out. Well, we are. We got a visual on the river there. Trim down a little bit here. Pushing the nose down here to kind of get into a level flight. So we're coming up here to Granite Reef Dam, which is right down below on the left there. And from there, the Salt River is carried in canals, different places, irrigation. I think even to Tempe Town Lake, but it's Usury Mountain right underneath of us, and the Granite Reef recreational area. So we're going to come over here and follow the river. So here is the junction of the Birdie. There's the Birdie. And this is the Salt River, which we're going to continue to follow. There are herds of wild horses out here. So this area we're over here now is, this is the area that is used by tubers, and Phoenix is famous for the Salt River tubing. And I first tubed down that river, probably about 12 years old, visiting from the Midwest. In fact, we're going to gain a little altitude here. Here we are, we're coming up to the first lake. And this is Stewart Mountain Dam and Saguaro Lake. So this is Saguaro Lake, very crowded on the weekends. And we're going to follow the river up here. As we head to the next lake. You know what, we're going to cheat and fly up on over. Now let's climb a little bit. It'll be a little different view. Okay, so our next stop is going to be Canyon Lake. Next stop is going to be Canyon Lake and Mormon Flat Dam. I imagine that's the dam back there. And now we're going to be flying to Apache Lake. And this stretch of Arizona is fairly remote. In fact, this part of the river, I used to boat up it and camp down here when my kids were small. But you will notice we are coming into Apache Lake. And there's the dam. It's called the Horse Mesa Dam. Apache Lake is bigger than Canyon Lake. It's longer. And the next stop and our final landing place today is going to be at Roosevelt Lake. And we're doing 140 knots. We're jamming along pretty good here. We're going to cut the throttle back and drop down through here. Yeah, this is a fairly large lake. There's the marina right there. But the Salt River above Roosevelt Lake comes out of the Apache White Mountain land and the San Carlos. The border of them, I believe, is a river called the Black River. And I think the Black and the White River join up there on the reservation on one of them, and then it becomes the Salt River from there. These dams were built to obviously collect all that water for irrigation, drinking. I mean, it's the lifeline for the Valley of the Sun. So that road right there is what's called the Apache Trail. And it starts out paved out of Apache Junction, and shortly afterwards, somewhere around Tortilla Flat, it becomes a dirt road. And it's got an infamous hill called Fish Creek Hill. And if you've ever pulled a boat or a camper or a trailer or just driven a truck on that road and on that hill, it can be quite interesting. Anyways, it's a dirt road that connects to the pavement at Roosevelt Lake by the dam, which is where we're headed right now. In fact, there's the dam right there. And the dam is actually called Theodore Roosevelt Dam. And here's the lake. It's a very large lake. Trying to remember where the marina is. Either way, we're going to cut the throttle back. And we're going to land this thing. We're going to turn this baby around. And we're going to lose some altitude at the same time. I don't know the altitude of this lake. Probably should check these things out. It's probably around 2,000 feet. Okay, throttle cut back, propeller pitch cut back. We're gonna go full flaps. And we're gonna try to come in right over here at the beach. Ooh, and our airspeed, we're just in a stall. Whoa, that was a rough one. Whoa, okay. Honey, I'm home. Ooh, nice looking water though, look at that. All right, I may have to get some ground crew out here to help me move this thing, but call that a good landing. A little bouncy, maybe. Well, that was fun. If you have any ideas about flights that might be interesting, leave me a message in the comment section.